Welcome to Cleveland Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio, on a chilly October day for the NFL Interconference game matching the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Redskins. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber, along with George Allen. We are not quite to the halfway point of the season, but they're talking about critical games already. Would you put this in that category?
Frank, I think it's a must game for Cleveland. They've lost 2 straight. I always felt that after we lost a game, the next game was a must game. I think if you're thinking of playoffs, that you can't have a losing streak of over 2 straight.
You've got the #1 passing team in the NFL in the Cleveland Browns going against the Redskins, who've allowed just 43% completions on the year. That should be quite a clash.
I think the interesting thing here is that Cleveland's going to try to run against the Redskin defense. You can't make a living just throwing that football. You have to get a running game going. Whether they can or not, without Greg Pruitt in there, remains to be seen.
All right, let's take a look at the start of the ball game. We're just about ready to go here. Crowd of 60,000 on hand, temperature around 50 degrees or so. And as you can see, the Browns have won the toss of the coin, elected to receive. Redskins will be kicking off. Mosley kicking off for the Washington Redskins. The deep men, Dino Hall, number 26, and Randy Rich, number 24, standing on about the 5-yard line. Wind swirls quite a bit here at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. And we're just about ready to go. The referee, Jerry Seaman, and his crew checking things out. Both teams in one game out of the lead in their respective divisions. The Browns in the AFC Central. Redskins, of course, in the NFC East. Nice, high, typical Mosley kickoff. Dino Hall at the 15-yard line. 20, 25, 30, and fumbles the ball. Loose ball at the 40-yard line. Big pileup, and Cleveland has recovered its own fumble. Big break for the Cleveland Browns on the opening kickoff. Looked like Evans. Johnny Evans recovered the fumble. Let's take a look at it.
Well, the Redskins are leading the league. Yeah, see, 86 came down, hit the ball from behind, and knocked it loose.
It's Phil Dubose.
Good play. The Redskins are leading the league on the giveaway, takeaway turnover.
And they almost got themselves a takeaway there. 1st and 10. Browns really throwing the football this year. #1 in the NFL in pass offense. They're moving from their own 40-yard line. Greg Pruitt in the backfield. A quick flip goes out to the wide receiver. That's Logan at the 40-yard line, out to the 45, and he's got a first down at midfield. 10-yard pickup for the Cleveland Browns. Dave Logan, the wide receiver, on the quick hit screen.
Well, that's a good first down call. A quick screen to the wide receiver. However, Malloy played that so well. See 57 come out there, that he forced him to cut back, and this was a spontaneous play. He picked up his blocking and really turned a broken play into a long gainer. Look at the way he's carrying that football.
Look at the way the quarterback is leading interference for him. Do you see that?
Sometimes your pursuit can be so good that it can work as a disadvantage.
Well, we call it a first down. The officials aren't quite sure, and they're measuring. It is a first down. Well, my eyesight is pretty good for openers. 1st and 10 for the Browns at midfield. They're coming off a 51-35 shellacking handed them last week by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the Cleveland backfield. Brian Sipe, Pruitt, and Calvin Hill replacing the injured Greg Pruitt. The wide receivers, Ozzie Newsome, guy to watch, tight end, outstanding receiver. And the Cleveland offensive line. A fumble by Greg Pruitt, a flag down on the play, and again Cleveland recovers at the 45 of the Redskins. So the Browns get 2 big breaks in the opening going.
Here's what happened here. He never really had the ball. They went on a quick count. They went on sound.
Penalty, offside. Goes against the Browns. That'll wipe out the 5-yard gain. And the ball will be moved back to the 45-yard line in Cleveland's end of the field. And we'll have a first down and 15.
You know, Frank, part of the fact that the Cleveland defense has had a lot of points scored on them has been the offense. The Cleveland offense has had turnovers.
Offside, left guard, offense.
See if we can pick it out here.
Watch 63, beat the snap. Reason, beat the snap. Cody Reason beat the snap and was offside. And that's what happens when you go on a quick count. You go on sound.
He's making his first start of the year, by the way, replacing George Beeler in the Browns offensive line. They made a couple of lineup changes after last week. 1st and 15. Browns back at their 45-yard line. Brian Sipe, the quarterback, hands to Pruitt. Nice hole over the left side. He reaches midfield, picks up 5 on the play, and Coy Bacon, number 79,
No, he's on the other side.
makes the stop. Defensive setup for the Redskins. Larch there at left end. Jones will come in some on passing situations. Veteran outfield. There's some newcomers in that linebacker core. Hover and Malott. And the Washington secondary has performed as one of the best in the league so far this year. 2nd and 10 from midfield. Brown sight back to throw first time. Good protection downfield. We get a flag thrown. Reggie Rucker was the intended receiver, and the flag was thrown on the Redskins' Lamar Parrish.
Well, there's no question about that Parrish interfered. Play action pass from the I formation. Syke has time to throw. The Redskins dogged on the play. Watch the contact on Rucker. Good call by the officials.
So that's an automatic first down and a big gainer, quite obviously, for the Cleveland Browns. Minute and a half deep in the ball game. No score.
Well, Parrish is one of the best defensive backs in football. He's been a top-notch all-pro performer year after year.
Holding, number 24, defense.
Well, they call it holding instead of interference, and that's a big break, I guess, for the Redskins, because the first down would have been around the 30-yard line. As it is, defensive holding is a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic first down. So the Browns have it 1st and 10 at the Redskin 45. Greg Pruitt is available for emergency duty, but they don't expect to use him this afternoon. He was hurt in the Monday night game against Dallas and hasn't played since then. Cleo Miller close to the first down at the 35-yard line.
Well, they just brought Cleo Miller in, number 30 in that play, and took Calvin Hill out and used him right away to run strong side. Now watch Hover, 58, what happens to him. They blow him out of there pretty good.
He recovered nicely. Get back in.
Comes over and helps on the tackle with Joe Lavender.
Not quite enough for the first down. 2nd down, short yardage for the Browns. Nose of the ball just outside the Redskin 35. Cleo Miller in the backfield along with Greg Pruitt. Both wide receivers to the left side. It is Pruitt on the handoff diving for the first down at the 33-yard line. So the Browns are moving.
Well, the Browns, Frank, are doing a little bit what we talked about, is running the football, trying to establish that running game before they throw.
Don Hover, the middle linebacker, made the stop. There's Brian Sipe. He's off to a sensational start this year. Steelers have jumped on Cincinnati on a field goal by Matt Barr from 46 yards away. If Sipe keeps throwing the way he has so far this year, he will break the NFL passing record for yardage on the season. Better than 4,000 yards, originally set by Joe Namath. Pruitt split up the middle to the 30-yard line, pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd down 6.
Well, they're lining up in what we call a Brown set, where the fullback is in the fullback spot and running up the middle, M blocking, man for man blocking, and blasting them out of there.
Sipe statistics for this year. That's more touchdowns than any quarterback has thrown this year, and more interceptions. So there's a reverse side of that coin, and that's the reason he's not number 1 in the league right now, is because of the large number of interceptions. 2nd down 6. Browns are at the 30-yard line. They've eaten up just about 4 minutes on the clock since the opening kickoff. Redskins haven't had the ball yet. Sipe. Good protections. Now he's in trouble. Still looking downfield. Finally delivers the football to Logan at the 17-yard line. It's a first down. I guess you can't give him that long to throw.
Sipe had all day to throw. Great protection. Watch this. Play action. Too much time to throw. Now he scrambles out and read the coverage real well. Fine play by Sipe. Kenny Houston has Ozzie Newsome covered 82. He probably wanted to go to Newsome. Good job by Sipe.
First down for the Browns at the 16. That's where they spot it. Miller and Pruitt in the backfield. It is Cleo Miller down to the neighborhood of the 10 to the 9-yard line. Lost the ball down there. Let's see. The Redskins are indicating they got it. Yes. I believe Washington has recovered, and the Redskins come through once again with another big turnover.
Well, we talked about the Redskins turnover ratio.
He lost it right there. And the Redskins quickly pounced on the football. They'll have the ball for the first time at their own 10-yard line.
This Bud's for all the people who make the sidelines a part of the show.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Introducing the 1980 Mercury Marquis.
Feel the Marquis ride.
The Mercury Marquis is not only spacious and comfortable, it has 70% better gas mileage ratings than 1975.
Feel the Marquis ride.
The 1980 Mercury Marquis. Come feel how well it's designed.
Feel the Marquis ride.
So the Redskins will go to the attack for the first time this afternoon. And by the way, it was Brad Dusek who made the fumble recovery. There's Lyle Alzado. We'll talk about him in just a moment. He's starting on the left side of the defensive line instead of his accustomed spot on the right. For the first time in his career, that could be a factor. Riggins with the handoff from Theismann.
Well,
out across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
When the Redskins lined up with Riggins at fullback, we call that a brown set or a blue set. They like to give him the football, and John's having a big year. He's an underrated football player as a blocker. He's an excellent blocker. He gets more credit for running ability and his yards per try, but he's a heck of a blocker.
At 115 yards rushing last week against Philadelphia. Second down, 3. Redskins from their 17-yard line. Theismann. Not much of a hole there that time as the handoff went to Benny Malone. Jerry Shirk, number 72, did the hole.
Well, they switched Alzado over to be a little stronger against the run. George Stark, I think, is a fine offensive tackle. Now, Alzado held his ground there and straightened Stark up. I think he'll be better against the run over there and not quite as effective as rushing the passer. Remains to be seen.
You take a guy who's been all pro for many years on the right side, you switch him to the other side, it's almost like going from being right-handed to being left-handed.
It's a big adjustment. Really a big adjustment for him.
Third down, less than a yard for the Redskins at their 20-yard line. Malone trying to pick up the first, and he doesn't get close.
Well, let's watch Alzado and Stark on this replay and see what happened. Stark handled him.
Sims is in on the stop, 78.
They actually had penetration by Sims, 78, that stacked the play up.
Mike Bragg to do the punting.
I think Ted Fritsch, number 66, is the best snapper in all of football. He can put the laces any way you want them. He gives the Redskins, in my opinion, the best 1-2 kicking punch in all of football. Mosley and Bragg.
He's a second-generation NFL star. His dad, the late Ted Fritsch, great fullback with the Packers in days gone by, who passed away just 10 days ago. Dino Hall waiting. Fields it at his own 42, 45-50. Hall to the 47-yard line of the Redskins. Good field position for the Browns as they put it in play. Hall came on just a couple of weeks ago when Keith Wright, the Browns' top kick returner, was declared out for the year with a knee injury. Hall was in camp with him, a free agent, and he's come back and done a fine job. Timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
America, the world is waiting.
Healthy spaces, glowing faces, a life that's full of life.
Your world is waiting, and Visa is there.
You're traveling, you're moving, you're giving more to life.
Wherever life is good, you're making it better. And Visa is there for traveling, shopping, and cash. Visa is the most widely recognized name in the world. Visa, we're keeping up with you.
I think we got company, Wilbur.
Yeah?
All that way for a Stroh's.
Don't surprise me none.
There's only one place you can find this anchorman, this editor, and his team. Cronkite and Company, only on the CBS Evening News.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Cleveland Browns and the National Football League is prohibited. There was a penalty on the punt as the Redskins had an ineligible man downfield, but the Browns declined it. They elected to take the excellent field position at the 47-yard line in Washington's end of the field. Had a look there at the two head coaches, Jack Pardee on the far side and Sam Rutigliano on the near side. No score, 8:16 left to play. First period, Cleveland Stadium. Sipe handing off to Mike Pruitt. Pruitt caught behind the line of scrimmage that time, and an excellent defensive play by Neil Olkowitz, number 52. He was in there.
Here comes Calvin Hill in. Calvin's an excellent pass receiver, good blocker. When he comes in there, they usually like to throw the football, screen, draw, some phase of the passing game.
He was some rookie. When he came up with the Dallas Cowboys, he was awesome.
Well, he did a heck of a job for the Redskins. He's a solid citizen and doesn't make mistakes.
Mike Pruitt, Calvin Hill, the running backs. Flag down. Reggie Rucker was the intended receiver. Newsom was also in the same area. You had two receivers awfully close to each other, George.
Yes, they were. They were too close together in that particular pattern. There's a flag on the play.
So it'll go against the Washington Redskins. Like illegal motion against the Redskins, so the option will lie here. Or rather, against the Browns. So the option will lie with the Redskins. Other scores around the league. Cincinnati still looking for its first victory.
Number 85, offense, refused.
That's Dave Logan, the wide receiver, who jumped a little bit. So the Bengals 7-3 over the Steelers. And San Francisco leads the Giants on a 22-yard field goal by Ray Wersching. Third down, Browns need 11 for the first down. Ball is at the 48-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Brian Sipe played his college football at San Diego State, leading passer in the nation as a senior. Gets it away. Hurried the throw intended for Pruitt, and he was decked as the Browns had a pretty good rush coming.
The Redskins were in a nickel defense. They had a good rush on Sipe. He didn't have much time to throw, and Perry Brooks had a delivery sack on that play.
Now, what's a delivery sack?
Hits him just as he delivers the ball.
That's as good as a sack in your book, huh? Just
sometimes that tells the toll more than getting a sack. You keep getting hit and hit. The third or fourth quarter wears you down a little bit.
Johnny Evans in to do the punting. Hardiman is deep. And he's been a big boost to the Redskins this year, whose specialty teams are awesome once again. He barely got that away, but it's a beautiful kick and sails on into the end zone on the fly. Big rush that time on the punter.
The official reached for his back pocket and then decided not to call it. The Redskins had the punt block on and knocked the kicker down.
So the Redskins will take over at the 20-yard line. First and 10. You can see the heavy traffic there around Evans. 7 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the opening period. No score. The Redskins nothing. The Browns nothing.
Sorry. I said we are not interested in that proposal.
The meeting is next Thursday, Bill.
60 long tons on September
Fredericks, are you listening to me?
If there's one thing you should remember about this deal...
Not knowing how to listen has cost American business billions of dollars. Well, as one of the world's major corporations, we at Sperry are doing something about it. We've set up extensive listening programs that Sperry employees worldwide can take part in. And when you do business with Sperry Univac or any of our other divisions, you're going to discover that Sperry listens like no one you've ever done business with.
80,000! I said 8,000! No!
Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
The head man of the Cleveland Browns and owner Art Modell so pleased with his work that he has signed him to a long-term contract and done an outstanding job bringing the Browns back to respectability. 1st and 10, Redskins at their 20-yard line. No score. Theismann, quick hit screen out to the far side. And run out of bounds is Danny Buggs at about the 28-29-yard line. So pickup of 9 or so on the play. There's Jack Pardee. A little nippy out there.
All the plays, Frank, are called from the sidelines. Joe Walton, the offensive coordinator, is doing a fine job, and you send all the plays in, and that's a good first down call. It's a safe pass, and you got a chance to pick up pretty good yardage on it.
2nd and a yard. John McDaniel is wide to the left side. Ricky Thompson split wide to the right. Riggins for the first down at the 33-yard line as he hurdles.
Watch Watch Riggins protect the ball. They're in the Brown set again. 2 hands on that football, which is good on a day like this.
Malone with a pretty good block there too to help him.
And we've already seen some fumbles today. It's a type of day where you can have a lot of mistakes if you don't concentrate and do the things that help you win and not beat you. They're all checking their hands.
But trying to keep warm. This we're right on the shores of Lake Erie. Again, Riggins finding his way across the 35 out to the 36-yard line. Pick up a 3. Mickey Sims, number 78, making the stop. Of course, the Browns are trying to come back defensively after giving up 51 points against Pittsburgh last week, and they kind of pinpointed on the left side of that defensive line. Even got the gloves, mittens out today. It's that type of day. It's been really, they say it's one of the coldest Octobers they've had here in northern Ohio. Temperature has been about 20 degrees or so below normal for the last couple of weeks. They've had snow flurries and the whole thing. 2nd down, 7. Malone caught at the line of scrimmage. That's Alzado, number 77. Showing great quickness.
I'll tell you one thing that's a little bit deceiving about Benny Malone. He doesn't have a good average per try, but he's a good blocker. And you got to have backs that block to make it possible to throw the football and to make it possible for the other back to make yardage.
3rd down and 6. The Browns go into their dime defense. A couple extra defensive backs in there. How old is that nickel and dime defense? How far does that go back?
Frank, we used that in Chicago in the late 50s and 60s, and now most everybody's using it.
3rd and 6. Big rush. And Theismann goes down under the pressure at the 25-yard line.
They put on the safety blitz. They came in with more people than the Redskins could pick up. It's a good call. You can't make a living with that. It's a good changeup.
Ricky Jones, 47, and Clinton Burrell, number 49, were in there both blitzing through. And drop it Theismann for the loss. Here's Lyle Alzado talking things over. Dano Hall, the Browns' diminutive kick returner, one of the smallest men in the National Football League. At 5'7", 165. Snap a little bit high, but Bry gets it away. Beautiful high punt. Hall at the 35 and down to the 37-yard line. So the Browns have put it in play from there. Ike Forte just activated by the Redskins, made the stop.
Good catch on the punt.
That was a very, very high punt by Bragg. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left to play in the opening period. Still no score.
From the very beginning, Continental Mark has been one of the highest forms of automotive expression. Through the years, its essence has remained unmistakably Mark. Now there's a new Mark. The 1980 Continental Mark VI, with Mark originality in its styling and the craftsmanship you've come to expect in such an automobile. Inside you'll find even more room than last year, and new, timely technology like an instrument panel that actually articulates, an electronic brain that manages 5 separate engine functions, and a new automatic overdrive transmission. And for 1980, there's a remarkable 41% improvement in EPA estimated miles per gallon over last year. And now, there's yet another new Mark. Introducing the Mark VI 4-door. Continental Mark VI, 4-door and 2-door. Both unmistakably Mark.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the World's Roller Skating Championship and the World's Strongest Men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports. That's next Saturday on CBS, the World Amateur Roller Skating Championships from Germany and the World's Strongest Men competition. Winding down. No score. Cleveland Browns bench. Things started off a little slow on both sides here. Both teams feeling each other out rather tentatively. Browns have the football, 1st and 10 at their 37. Cardinals have a field goal from Steve Little and lead Philadelphia. Eagles tied with Dallas for first place in the NFC East. Straight rush up the middle. Much fancy about that. And Cleo Miller the football and point him straight forward. That's what the Browns did, and they took it up to the 42-yard line. On the bottom of the pile, Ken Houston.
There's Rick Saul on the sidelines, a real steady football player, one of the guys that is always ready to play. I had his brother in L.A., and they're twin brothers, and they're the type of guys you like to have in your football team because they're always ready to play football and prepare themselves to win.
2nd and 5. Cleveland at his 43-yard line. Mike Pruitt, Cleo Miller in the backfield. Brian Sipe calling the signals. Miller again. Trying to bounce off a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Gets away from one man, but then the rush really comes up after him. Good charge by Coy Bacon, number 75. Finally. Made the stop. Loss in the play.
Watch Dave Butts on this play, 65. They ran on his side. Dave fights them off and comes in and makes a play.
Squeezes through a little opening there. Butts is one of the biggest feet, I understand, or two of the biggest feet in all
Dave
pro football.
has big feet. We had a tough time getting shoes for him when he first came to the Redskins. Dave has come along, he's in shape, and he's playing good football and has a fine career ahead of him.
He wears 12 and a half, 7 E's, if you can imagine that. 3rd down 9.
Gunboats.
They really are. Pruitt close for the 1st down at the 47-yard line. You surprised they didn't throw there?
Yeah, but Frank, they're doing what we said at the top of the show. They've been throwing the ball so much that Sipe wants to establish a running ball game.
Not enough for the 1st down. Redskin helmet. You're familiar with that, I'm sure.
I think it's the best-looking helmet in the league.
And
Frank.
why is that, George?
Well, I like that Redskin emblem. I think it's beautiful.
Tell him who designed it, George.
Well, some guy named Allen, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Ready to do the punting is Evans. Got a great one away a moment ago, and Hardeman is deep for the Washington Redskins. Not that much of a rush this time. Hangs up in the wind a little bit. Hardeman waiting, takes it on the 17, 20, 25, and put to the 30-yard line before he is dropped by Willis Adams, number 80, the Browns' #1 draft choice. Why don't you mark down Saturday on your calendar? We've got a prime time special for you you're not going to want to miss. It's the Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes, with the stars of the entertainment and sports world competing in spirited head-to-head competition. People like Charo and Bill Cosby and Red Fox and Tony Tennille and Joni Rivers and Charlie Pride and Phyllis George, and we can go on and on, but watch it for yourself. This Saturday on CBS. 1st and 10 Redskins at their 30-yard line. 1:55 to go in the first period. Theismann back to throw it. Sideline throw. It is caught at the 40-yard line, and rolling out of bounds is Bugs. Danny Buggs.
Well, you know, Danny and Joe work together. They line up in an I formation. They go play action. Good fake by Joe to Malone. Low throw and a good catch. You know, Danny Buggs is one of the few receivers that has racehorse speed and size. Danny is 6'2", about 285, 185, 190.
That's Gene Fugit, who is not seeing action today for the Redskins, the tight end, because of a sprained knee. Malone belted at the line of scrimmage, gets a yard, maybe two. Jack Gregory, number 81, on the hit. That's not the World Series, is it? That's the NFL. Yeah. 49ers 3 and the Giants 2 in the first period.
The Redskins are gradually taking away the field position that Cleveland has had through the kicking and picking up some yardage in this series.
2nd and 9. Redskins at their 41-yard line. No score yet. Riggins, nice hole. And Riggins knifes through across the 45 out to the 47. Clarence Scott, number 22, comes up from the Browns secondary to make the stop.
Good call. Lead draw to John Riggins. Riggins has his hand over the nose of the ball. Now he protects it with two hands as he goes down. These are the things that help you to win, the basics. It isn't the plays or the defenses, it's how you execute them. Now we have a situation where we have two backs in there where they like to throw the football.
3rd down 3. Browns at their 47-yard line. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Theismann gets it away and a great catch at the 45-yard line by Harmon, who is down to the 30, drops the ball and then fell on it. First down. Redskins at the 25 if everything's in order, and I believe it is. Not a bad catch.
Well, the Redskins brought in Harmon and Hardiman. Harmon ran a good route here, made a good catch.
29 yards on that play. The clock ticking away the final 5 seconds of the opening period, and there is the gun. So we're still scoreless. That's the end of the first quarter. The Redskins nothing and the Browns nothing. Back in 1 minute.
You survey where the land is wild and unforgiving, filling in empty places on maps that until now have been almost unknown. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Miller Beer.
Now, the best Zenith ever. System 3 is even better. Even better. The sharpest Zenith picture ever. Sharpest picture. An all-modular chassis designed to be the most reliable Zenith ever. Most reliable. And now, computer space command remote control. 105 channels. Zenith's most advanced. Most advanced. Zenith System 3. System 3. Now, even better.
The AC spark plug, buy 7, get 1 free sales on right now. Participating outlets where you see this poster.
Thanks, AC.
Americans are learning that if their car's plugs are misfiring, a tune-up with new AC spark plugs can help improve gas mileage. Thanks, AC. Now's the time to tune up because AC Delco is making it possible for you to get 8 AC spark plugs for the price of 7.
Thanks, AC.
Tune up with AC. Buy 7, get 1 free.
Thanks, AC.
A little problem here in the sidelines, apparently, for one of the members of the Cleveland Browns, George Beeler. 1st and 10. Theismann over the middle and incomplete. Intended for Riggins, and Riggins was well covered. All over him was the middle linebacker Dick Ambrose. Ambrose used to play with your son.
Yes, he did. He played with my son at the University of Virginia. 52 Ambrose, a fine football player. By the way, I was in Charlottesville the last 3 days with my son, Frank, and had a nice visit with him. And he told me to tell Ambrose good luck.
All right. Ambrose, 12th round draft choice, so he's come along very nicely for the Cleveland Browns 4 years ago. 2nd and 10. Redskins on the move at the 24-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Theismann again with good protection, and this time Spears McNor, they say he trapped it. They say he trapped it at the 16-yard line. Let's look at it again.
It looked like a good catch. Let's see it again. Here it is. It's a low pass. No, he did. It went through his hands. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, McDaniel tried to talk the officials out of that.
Good call. Here's a big play on both sides now.
Third down. Redskins need 10 for the first down from the 24-yard line of Cleveland.
You know, that nickel defense we're talking about is very vulnerable against the run. I was always worried they're going to run against it. You're strong against the pass. You're weak against the run.
Harmon and Hardiman are the setbacks. They normally come in a passing situation for the Redskins. Warren, the tight end, makes the grab, but not enough for the first down as he's caught at the 19-yard line. Good defense by Tom Darden, number 27.
This is a looky pass to the tight end. We call it a wide looky. That's usually open against the nickel. You like to give him that. Give him that because you aren't, most of the time you aren't going to pick up a 9-10 yards on a wide looky.
Mark Mosley kicked a 37-yarder against the Eagles last week, the 8th consecutive game in which he has kicked at least one. That's the longest streak in the league. He's off to another great year, as you can see from these statistics.
I think he's the best in football.
This is a 35-yard attempt. Theismann puts it down. It is long enough, and it is good. Hold automatic. Mark Mosley puts the Redskins on the scoreboard 58 seconds deep into the second period of play here at Cleveland Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment.
A surprising message to Rolaids users. Tums neutralizes 1/3 more acid than Rolaids. Watch this familiar demonstration. 1 Rolaids and 1 Tums tablet are added to stomach acid. Both neutralize the acid. But on those occasions, when your stomach has even this much more excess acid, Tums can still absorb it. Rolaids can't, because tablet for tablet, Tums neutralizes 1/3 more acid than Rolaids. For acid indigestion and heartburn, take Tums.
If women shaved men's faces, we'd try to shave them a lot closer than men do, because we know all about skin and Noxzema. Trust me. The closer you shave, the more you need the medicated comfort of Noxzema shave cream. Just take it off. And what have you got? Skin smooth enough to get next to mine. Noxzema.
Frank Lieber with George Allen back at Cleveland Stadium as the Redskins prepare to kick off. 14:02 left to play in the first half. Washington leading by a score 3-0. And Mosley, of course, will do the kicking. And the Browns have Rich, number 24, back there, coupled with Dino Hall, number 26, as the deep men.
We have a swirling wind here, Frank. You can't count on the wind. It's blowing from all directions.
Kind of an end-over-end kick. Bounces at the 10-yard line. Hall at the 7, up the sidelines, 15, 20, and necktied at the 25. Browns 1st and 10. In case you joined us late, Browns took the opening kickoff and drove to the Redskins 10, where they fumbled and Brad Dusick recovered. It seemed to take a little steam out of their sails.
Now, speaking of Brad Dusick, I think he's the most underrated linebacker in football.
He doesn't get the publicity a lot.
No, he doesn't. He's tough. He prepares himself. He doesn't make the mistakes. He doesn't have the size you want in a linebacker, but he's from the old school.
1st and 10, Cleveland at its 25-yard line, trailing 3-0. Brian Sipe starting to go to the air. Miller.
Well, all you got to do is watch Miller's head, and you'll see why he dropped that football.
Watch his head.
Watch his head. Sipe does a great job of looking downfield and then dumping it off. Now watch his head. He was looking ahead instead of looking the ball in.
2nd and 10. Sipe is now 2 out of 5 for 24 yards. Pruitt has rushed for 18. Miller has rushed for 16.
Calvin Hill came in now.
Browns can move the football. Nobody's really held them down this year. They've scored points. Pruitt out beyond the 25 to about the 28. Gang tackle by Neil Okowitz, number 52, who is in at the middle linebacker slot right now. By the way, we got word that Rich Malott went off earlier in the first period. They have already x-rayed him, and the x-rays have showed that he is apparently has a broken wrist and will not see action the remainder of the afternoon. Pete Wysocki.
The Redskins brought in their pass rushing personnel. Watch 69, Perry Brooks. One of the reasons we kept him on the football team was his ability to rush the passer. He's got size and speed. It's just a matter of staying healthy.
3rd down 7. Browns at their 28. Here comes the Redskin rush. Sipe retreating out of the pocket. Gonna run it. 30, 35, 40, 45, and finally slides to a halt at the 47-yard line. 1st down.
They chased him out of the pocket, and Sipe did the smart thing. Run for the 1st down.
Ray Waddy finally stopped him. Sipe, of course, engaged in a battle here for several years with Mike Phipps for the #1 spot, but he has really come into his own here in the last year. He's an outstanding quarterback, though he doesn't have the greatest physical attributes in the world. He's not that big. His arm isn't that strong, but he gets the job done. Going back to what the Browns do best, throw the football. Wide open was Calvin Hill at the 30, and the pass underthrown.
That's a real tough coverage for the defense. The halfback, Calvin Hill, goes down the field about 18, 20 yards. And no matter what defense you're in, it's difficult to get back there, whether it's the middle linebacker or the weak side linebacker.
Sipe has thrown for better than 200 yards in every game the Browns have played this year. No other NFL quarterback can make that statement. Cardinals got another field goal. They're now 6-0 in front of Philadelphia. 27 and 28-yard field goals from Steve Little. Our score, Redskins 3, Browns 0 early in the 2nd period. 2nd and 10. Browns at their 47. Sipe over the middle. Reggie Rucker at the 40-yard line. 1st down, Cleveland. Hit made by Lamar Parrish, number 24, is Lyle Alzado talking things over on the sidelines. One of his teammates.
And Perry Brooks put Sipe on the ground. Perry Brooks was in there, had good pressure on him.
1st down. Browns are moving at the 40-yard line of the Washington Redskins as the sun breaks through the clouds. Giants now 9-3 over the 49ers in the 2nd period. New York going for its 2nd victory in a row after the upset last week over Tampa Bay.
Dyron Talbert's in there now, number 72 for Perry Brooks.
Rucker to the right side. Dave Logan to the left. Sipe with good protection this time. Floats it out there for Logan at the 10. He is down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to go. As he got behind the coverage. In this case, Joe Lavender.
I tell you, if a quarterback has that much time to throw, the defense is on defense. You can't cover him if you give him that much time to throw the football.
Had all the time in the world, and Logan, great athlete.
If he didn't have to wait for the ball, he would have scored on it. The ball was just a little bit underthrown.
1st and goal to go for the Cleveland Browns. The officials mark the ball at the Redskin 3-yard line. Miller comes out. Calvin Hill comes out. Now Calvin Hill's still in there. Take it back. Pruitt, Mike Pruitt, and Calvin Hill are the setbacks. 1st and goal from the 3. It is Hill. Starts in motion. The handoff to Pruitt. Hurdles down to the 1.
You know, Frank, right in here, Billy Kilmer would always know when he came over to the sidelines, we wanted the backs to have 2 hands on the football. Right in here, this is a critical area, and it's an unpardonable sin to fumble when you get inside the 20-yard line.
Well, the Browns have done it once. Lost the ball at the 10 in their opening drive. It is 2nd and goal to go from the 1. Calvin Hill, touchdown.
And you see how he's carrying that football? Calvin Hill carried that football with both hands over each end of the ball. Look, watch Calvin Hill carry that football now. That's the way you want to protect it. There's no way you're going to fumble it when you carry it that way. That's good, sound, basic football.
Well, it's got to be a big touchdown for Calvin. There was a penalty on the play, but it was against the Redskins, so it is declined, quite obviously.
Protecting the ball so they can't jar it loose.
Sam Ratigliano. Don Cockcroft. Talk about one of the better field goal kickers in the NFL.
Yes, he is.
And Placeman, although he has missed 3 this year, that's a little surprising. And that one's blocked.
He didn't miss that as much as he kicked a line drive. It wasn't blocked, I should say. If we can see that again, it was a straight line drive.
This Bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Motorcraft battery, it's all right. Saved my life one dreadful night when I told Big Dutch I want to fight. He said, how about now? He broke a table over a chair. I went from a coupe to go anywhere. My lights had been on while I was there. Motorcraft, don't fail me now. I turned the key as he came to the door. The Motorcraft made the engine roar. Then I heard Big Dutch as he stamped and swore. Gonna get me a Motorcraft battery for sure. Motorcraft, for sure.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see the World's Roller Skating Championships and the World's Strongest Men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Okay.
Tonight on CBS, starts off with 60 minutes. Archie Bunker's plays one day at a time, and then an outstanding film feature presentation, Flesh and Blood.
Frank, Coy Bacon got credit for blocking that kick.
Do you think it was more Cockcroft's fault?
Oh, it was a line drive.
Hardiman is deep along with Harris. Kickoff is high and short. And coming down on the near side, fielded by the Redskins' Ike Forte. So Forte getting his feet wet once again. I should say his feet muddy in this case. This field is quite muddy. They've had rain every day this past week.
And
here
you
in
know,
Cleveland.
The end zone is all dirt. Art Modell was telling me they're going to put some sod in there. There was a wall from baseball, and all the end zone is dirt.
Of course, on the left side of the field, as you view the action, the baseball infield, where the Browns were driving a moment ago, that's still bare.
Well, the Redskins lined up in a tray formation backfield. 3 backs in the backfield. The old wing tee or 3 backs all lined up like you used to see a year ago.
Benny Malone in the carry out to the 34-yard line. Pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd down 8. They feel obviously they can run against this.
Well, that's usually a running set.
And why shouldn't they? Because the Steelers certainly did last week. Riggins and Malone in the backfield. Ricky Thompson in motion. Here's Riggins going wide around the outside. Not much room there. Tried to turn the corner and couldn't do it particularly well.
Now watch Shirk, number 72. One of the guys I really think does a great job week after week. Now Saul is driving him back, pushing him back. Saul did his job. Shirk gets over there and with Gregory and helps in on the tackle. That's a good matchup. Saul 64 versus Shirk 72. I like the way Shirk plays football.
You couldn't see it particularly well on the replay, but Clay Matthews, number 57, did an excellent job of extending Riggins, kept him moving to the sidelines, and he couldn't turn upfield. 3rd down. 5 needed for the 1st down. Redskins at their 36, and Joe Theismann suddenly calls timeout. What happened?
Well, Joe saw something. The play they sent in, he saw something. He didn't want to run that play, and you hate to waste your timeouts, but that's a good call on Joe's part.
So he'll talk it over with the Redskin Brain Trust, and we'll be back at Cleveland Stadium in just a moment.
Now try and forget. One of America's largest life insurance companies, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
At the hospital of Bicêtre outside Paris, the doctors, like doctors anywhere, sometimes come across a difficult case. Now they can turn to a data transmission network created by ITT World Communications. The case is routed through ITT in New York to the National Library of Medicine in Washington, D.C., and almost instantly, the information needed is sent back to Paris, where it's needed.
3rd and 5 for the Redskins at their 37-yard line as they break the huddle. 8:55 left to go in the first half. Cleveland leading 6-3.
The last time we had this situation, Theismann went to his tight end in this against this particular defense.
Joe back to throw. Completes the pass to Hardiman at the 45-yard line, out of bounds at the 48, and that will be a first down. Bolton made the stop, number 28.
Let's watch the job George Stark does on Alzado. Pushed him outside, stayed right with him, knocked him down.
Nice job.
Good job by George Stark, one of the better tackles in the league.
Redskins pick up the first down at their 48-yard line. Buggs is wide to the left side. Ricky Thompson has had some injury problems this year in motion for the Washington Redskins. Theismann, big rush by the Browns. Gets the pass away, but the rush really got him. It was Shirk. Wrapped his arms around him. We get a flag thrown after the pass fell incomplete at the line of scrimmage. That was a rather delayed penalty call on a part of the officials because the pass had fallen incomplete. Some of the players had started back upfield. All of a sudden, the flag came out of the pocket. Illegal receiver downfield. So the option lies here with the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland's going to take the penalty.
So the Redskins will go back to the 38. We'll get the call here from the referee, Jerry Seaman.
Ineligible downfield, number 73, offense.
Well, the man who was there and shouldn't have been there was Jeff Williams, the right guard of the Redskins.
Well, what happened is that the play action, and then Joe was rushed. It took a little longer, and the lineman accidentally go downfield.
Now you've got a 1st and 20. Washington from its 38-yard line. Malone taking the pitch. Gain of 1 on the play. Again, good defense. Lyle Alzado, number 2077.
That particular play, you need great speed to run a quick toss. The quick toss was effective with guys like Dorsett or that type of back that can outrun the defense. Now Alzado went with the pull and made a good play.
Ron Jaworski has hit Harold Carmichael on a touchdown pass in Philadelphia in front of St. Louis 7-6.
Greg Pruitt runs a quick toss beautifully.
2nd down. 19 needed for the first down. Theismann with a nice fake, but didn't fool a couple of guys. Jack Gregory, number 81, and Jerry Shirk, number 72.
Well, Frank, 2nd down and long yardage. Play action doesn't fool you too much. Nobody blocked Gregory. Joe was running a bootleg type of play. Gregory came in with Shirk and made the sack.
Gregory a little miffed because he wasn't starting prior to this week. Of course, he was a great star with the Browns for many years.
He was.
Traded to the Giants and then came back.
And he did a heck of a job for the Giants. I think it was a good move to bring Gregory back.
3rd down, let's call it 21. Loss of 2 on that play. Redskins from their 36, they give it to Harmon. He's at the 40-yard line and a couple of more, and that's it.
You know,
Oliver Davis on the stop.
That guy carrying the ball, Harmon, was our fullback in 1977. John Riggins got hurt. Harmon weighed about 190 pounds that year. Played fullback for 10 games. Did a good job of blocking, catching, and running. He's a fine football player.
Dino Hall, number 26, safety man for the Cleveland Browns. 7:03 left to play in the half. And the Browns lead it 6-3. Punting situation for the Washington Redskins. Frank Lieber here along with George Allen. Chilly, sunny day. Cleveland, Ohio. Bragg back to do the punting. He's hung a couple of beauties up so far. Good snap. Bad kick. Very short. Fielded by the Browns. Clinton Burrell, number 49.
And that was
only 27
smart
yards.
move by Burrell. Signal for a fair catch rather than let the ball bounce.
This bud's for everyone who lives the life of the sea.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
Ever since American Airlines flew the first passenger jet across this country, we've been bringing people closer together. And now, with the Super Saver fares we pioneered, you can save 40 or 50% all over American's America. From Albany to Albuquerque, from Nashville to Knoxville, from sea to shining sea.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Next Sunday, CBS Sports kicks off its NFL coverage with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports. Full lineup of regional games on CBS next week. First, the Redskins will be back home to take on Philadelphia. That'll be a big one for Washington.
You know, Cleveland's offense has been basically throwing the football. They haven't been able to hurt the Redskin defense running. Interesting to see what they try to do in this drive.
Well, they have the football at their 31-yard line. St. Louis-Dallas game should be a beauty next Sunday, too. A couple of key games in the NFC East. Browns bench getting the word. Little X's and O's there, George.
Yeah, making adjustments on the sidelines.
Calvin Hill in the ball game as a slot man to the left side. The give is to Pruitt up the middle. He takes it out to the 34-yard line. See, I noticed where Frank Kush got fired at Arizona State. You see that?
Yeah, that's too bad. He's a great coach. I know Frank. My son Bruce worked for him, but you know what? I've even known of a coach to lose his job after 2 preseason games, Frank.
Nobody in this booth, right?
No, I don't know him.
Those things will happen in the coaching profession. Pickup of 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Browns at their 35-yard line. 6 minutes left. There's Pete Wysocki, right side linebacker, replacing Malott, who was injured. He had one of the great quotes, I think, in the NFL this year, which we'll tell you about in just a moment. Brian Sipe over the middle for Rucker. Into and out of the grass. Wysocki, after playing against Earl Campbell of the Oilers, said, you tackle Earl Campbell, it makes your IQ go down.
Well, Pete's a good special team guy. We got him out of Canada, and he's done an outstanding job on the teams. Now he's going to have to play regular, take over because of an injury.
3rd down, 7 needed for the 1st down. Browns at their 35. Cal Hill comes out. Cleo Miller and Mike Pruitt are the running backs. Logan wide to the left side, and Rucker in the slot inside of him. There's Reggie. Pruitt caught at the line of scrimmage. Good defense by the Washington Redskins, and the big strong man is Dave Butts, number 65, who just wouldn't let him go.
Well, I tell you another thing about Butts. Butts is big and strong, but he also moves pretty well. You aren't going to move him too much. He has to work on his pass rushing techniques, but he's improving, and he's going to be a fine football player. He's young, and if he has the dedication, he can be a great one.
Evans in to do the punting for the Browns. He was one of their top draft choices a year ago. He's also a backup quarterback. But a strong kicker. Hardiman is deep. Snap a little bit low, but he gets a nice kick away. Buddy Hardiman fading back to his 19. Up the middle to the 25, threads his way to the 30, and up to the 32-yard line. And Washington puts it in play from there after a 45-yard punt. Ricky Jones makes the stop. 4:56 left to play in the first half. Browns leading the Redskins 6-3. Cockcroft's extra point attempt blocked, and that could be a big factor in this ball game. Tomorrow night on CBS, one of the best Monday night lineups anywhere. White Shadow thinking about going back to pro basketball on MASH. A great episode. Radar says goodbye forever. WKRP and Lou Grant, all on CBS tomorrow night. 1st and 10 from the 31. Riggins pounds his way over the left side out to the 33-yard line.
Well, Frank, that last set again is what we talked about earlier in the first quarter. That's where the fullback, Riggins, lines up in the fullback spot, and they run the ball weak side. They've done that about 4 or 5 times now.
Screen. Malone. Hard piece of running, and Malone is very close to the first down at the 42-yard line. Oliver Davis makes the stop. Well, could we have an upset in the making? Cincinnati winless all year, leading the Steelers 13-3. Pete Johnson on a 1-yard run with the latest touchdown. Boy, that'd be the upset of the year, wouldn't it?
That certainly would. You know, Malone is a slashing type of runner.
It is a first down. Jack Pardee. You got to put Jack in the running along with John McKay in the early balloting, I think, for Coach of the Year. The job he's done with the Redskins so far. Of course, we got a long way to go. Riggins takes the handoff from Theismann and sees nothing.
Usually when that happens, you're going to lose yardage. You stay with the blocking. Unless you have great speed, if you try to cut back, the offside pursuit's going to pick you up. You're going to lose yardage.
Talk about Theismann's development so far with the Redskins.
You know, Joe has a lot more poise.
That crowd reaction is to the Pittsburgh score just a moment ago.
And yes, this is a passing situation. 2nd down and 10.
Well, there's a little option play to Riggins. That's a college play.
Yeah, it's a quarterback keeper pitch.
That's a little strange call.
Yeah,
2nd and 1.
When we defense that, we didn't want the quarterback to pitch it. We wanted him to keep it, and we wanted to pound the quarterback. So we would cover the pitch man and force the quarterback to keep it. That's a play that you don't see much in pro football because it's too risky on your quarterback. But Joe's talking about Joe Theismann. Joe, when he scrambles now, throws the ball rather than runs. At one time in his career, every time he'd scramble, he was looking to run to get the first down.
3rd and 7. Redskins from their 45. Harmon is in the lineup. Pass to Harmon over the middle. He is stopped short of the first down at midfield. Dick Ambrose, number 52, the middle linebacker.
Nice play by Dick Ambrose.
Looked like Alzado was shaken up. Alzado injured on the play. There's a timeout in the field, and we'll be back at Cleveland Stadium in just a moment.
There are times when any investor needs security. Protection from the unknown. Low-risk investments with a solid return. We know where the best ones are, because our strength, instinct, and resourcefulness is unmatched by any other investment firm. Merrill Lynch, a breed apart.
Introducing the 1980 Mercury Capri RS and Zephyr Z7. 2 high-mileage Mercuries that'll make heads turn.
Come on in, ease on down the road.
For better base engine mileage ratings than most American-made cars. Capri RS with that sexy European look. Zephyr Z7, solid economy with style. Both with optional turbocharged engines for even more driving fun.
Ease on down the road.
To the sign of the cat.
Lyle Alzado being assisted from the field during the 2-minute warning, limping rather noticeably. He hurt his knee earlier this year. You might recall he was hurt in that Monday night game against Dallas and is obviously slowed there. And if he's not able to come back, it'll be a big blow to the Browns defense. The swing man is Mike St. Clair, who was a starter up until this week. St. Clair took a walk during the week when he was informed he would no longer be a starter. He dropped out of sight for a day and then came back. But it was on that side of the line where St. Clair was involved that the Steelers ran rampant last week.
Yeah, it usually isn't just one man that makes a defense fail. It's a combination. It's teamwork.
We are down to the 2-minute warning during this timeout, and we might tell you that our clock is inoperative right now. You see, it says 15 minutes. Obviously, that's wrong. We are down to the 2-minute warning, and we're probably, unless they get it repaired, going to have to guess at the time remaining in the first half from this point on in. But right now, there are 2 minutes to go.
When I see this situation, I think of one year we played Dallas, and the Dallas center drew us offside. In fact, Wysocki...
It was D.D. Lewis, wasn't it?
That's right. D.D. Lewis. Wysocki jumped offside, kept the drive going. We were leading in the ball game 7-0 at the time. We end up losing the ball game 14-7.
What Didi did, he lifted his head rather quickly, right?
Lifted his head. Wysocki jumped offside, gave him a first down.
Little conference there. Number 26 is the kick returner, tiny Dino Hall. Number 47, the defensive back, Ricky Jones. 4th down. Now the Redskins need 2 for the first down. And there are 2 minutes left to play in the half.
Good strategy here, Frank, is to go in a long count.
Bragg back to do the punting. He's punted for 38, for 40, and for 27 yards on his 3 kicks here in the first half. Fine high kick. Hall going to field it at the 10. And he has dropped at that point. That's kind of in the twilight zone, isn't it? Where you want him to field it or not field it?
Well, our general rule was let the ball go inside of the 10. But I think he did the right thing there. He had some time to return it.
Monty Coleman made the stop.
And you don't want them to down the ball in there and be working out the end zone.
There's Alzado exercising that left knee, which obviously is troubling him. 1st and 10, Browns at the 10-yard line. They're trying to get that clock set to where it is right, and apparently it is now correct with 1 minute left to play in the first half. Well, we thought it was, and it started going crazy again. Ryan Sipe back to his 2-yard line, out to Reggie Rucker. It's picked off. Parrish at the 20-yard line. Parrish back to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. And the Redskins, the masters of the turnover, have done it again.
Yeah, that ball hung a little bit. And Parrish has good inside position. He comes in and takes it away. Watch him come right in and take it away from Rucker.
This man's number 1 in the NFC with interceptions, and that is 6 for him on the year.
Well, you see, this is another thing why you got to have the running game to establish it so that you don't have to throw all the time, especially out of your own end zone. That's a big play for the Redskins.
Alzado with a strained left knee. That's the word we get from the bench. About a minute to go in the first half of play. 1st and goal from the 9. Theismann wants 6, and this is intercepted by the Browns. Tom Garden out to the 15, the 20, fumbles the ball out of bounds. The Browns will retain possession. We got a penalty marker? Yes, I think we do. Let's see. I think the penalty may have come on the run back. It may be a clip.
You know, Frank, I'll tell you what. You go to the pass, you go to the pass. He didn't see Darden there. Darden made a nice play, but you've got to be able to run the ball first and pass second, to my way of thinking. Both quarterbacks were intercepted. You got to establish the run a little bit before you throw the ball.
There's 1 minute. 1 minute, 15 seconds.
All right, thank you. That's the referee, Jerry Seaman, informing us there's 1 minute 15 seconds left to play in the first half. Can you second guess the call there on throwing the ball first down?
I'm not saying that so much, but I think that if you keep throwing that football, you're going to be intercepted. You're going to be sacked.
Ryan Sipe to Pruitt. 35, and Pruitt is out to the 40 and dragging tacklers out of bounds at the 44-yard line. He did not get out of bounds. They say he was stopped before he went out of bounds, so the Browns are going to have to call a timeout here. I don't think Rutigliano much cares for that call. He thought they dragged him out of bounds.
Yeah, there are certain times when you got to run overpass.
Tom Darden ran an interception back for a touchdown against Dallas in the Monday night game. Last year, the only Pro Bowl representative of the Browns, and you can see why. Great All-American from Michigan. Ryan Sipe pumped it once, tucked it under, and there he goes to the 48-yard line. And now he wants time. And again, we'll tell you our clock is inoperative here, so we'll have to get the official time from the referee. Sipe will come over and talk things over with Sam Rutigliano. Well, you talk about a change of events. Looked like the Redskins were going to be ahead.
Yeah, this is a wild game. Sipe, one of his first starts was against the Redskins. He's an underrated quarterback. He's got a lot of poise.
There are 27 seconds left in the half. You have 2 left, Coach.
That's the voice of the referee, Jerry Seaman. And that brings you up to date and brings us up to date on the time.
There are 27 seconds left in the half.
What were you saying about Sipe?
Well, I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in football. He's got a lot of poise. He knows when to run.
Look what Cincinnati.
He does have a lot of interceptions. However, part of it is due to the fact that he's to throw the ball so much. And he's been playing against some pretty good defenses. Look at that score.
Isn't that something? Cincinnati 27-3. That's the reason for the periodic cheers you hear every time they announce that. Of course, a great rivalry here between Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Next week, Cleveland and Cincinnati play.
That's right. And of course, if the Bengals win and the Browns win, the Browns are back tied for first again.
Yeah.
27 seconds. Jim LeClaire, the linebacker of Cincinnati, ran a fumble recovery in 27 yards for the latest Cincinnati touchdown.
Cleveland has 2 timeouts.
Second down. They need a short 2 for the first down with the ball at the Redskin 47. 27 seconds left in the half. Sipe trying to get him in shape for a field goal try by Cockcroft. Good protection. It took a little bit too long to throw it.
Yeah.
Finally, the rush got to him. Perry Brooks. There's a flag. That'll be roughing the passer. There's the Browns owner, Art Modell, on the right of your screen. Oh, you talk about a fan. Art is really into it.
I think that penalty's against the Redskins. Redskins had great coverage on that. Nobody to throw to, and Sipe took just a little too long before he took off.
Brooks throwing the quarterback down unnecessarily, and the
personal foul, number 69, defense, unnecessary roughness, Cleveland, timeout.
Now the Browns call time, and this will get them a bit further down the field. I don't think quite in Cockcroft's range. There's Don Cockcroft. I tell you, when I worked in Cleveland here some 10, 11 years ago, he was a rookie coming in for Lou Groza, a legend, and now he's to the point where he could possibly surpass Groza in points scored before his career is over, if he can hang on for another 2 or 3 years.
You can't have penalties, stupid penalties that can...
there are 17 seconds left in the half.
That can beat you.
There are 17 seconds left in the half. That is Cleveland's second timeout. Has 1 remaining.
Well, we don't need the clock anymore as long as we got the referee, Jerry Siemens. He keeps you up to date, doesn't he?
He's doing a play-by-play down there.
Well, a penalty will move the ball to the 34-yard line. 17 seconds. They have 1 timeout left, which means, of course, they'll try to run 1 more play and get it a little bit closer. Right now, Cockcroft would have to kick about a 50, 51-yard field goal, and that may be a little bit beyond his range with the wind slowing around.
If he throws the right type of passes, he's got time for 2 passes here.
17 seconds?
Yeah.
Throw twice and take a chance with 1 timeout left?
He has to throw the sideline route so they can get out of bounds.
No wind around the area of the goalpost anyway, but it is swirling down to the other end. There's Sipe. Over the middle, he's got Rucker. At the 22-yard line, now they call time. They'll use that last time out, and here comes the field goal unit. Don Cockcroft, who had an extra point attempt earlier, blocked. Jack Pardee, a bit nervous on the far side. Cockcroft needs 12 more points to move past Lou Michaels into the NFL's all-time top 10. There are now 6 seconds left in the first half.
There are 10 seconds.
Well, I was wrong. Make it 10.
There are 10 seconds remaining in the half. That is Cleveland's last timeout.
All right, the ball is at the 22. You spot it back 7 yards to the 29, which will make it a 39-yard effort for Don Cockcroft.
Be interesting to watch the snap and the hold on this field goal. Last time he kicked a line drive, Coy Bacon came in and blocked it, number 79.
He's 9 out of 12 on the year in the field goal department. Great clutch kicker. He has won 4 games in overtime for the Browns over the last couple of seasons.
Yes, you used the right word. He's been a tremendous guy in the clutch.
In fact, he's probably the most consistent kicker in the history of the NFL. His long 44 yards. This will be from 39. And let's see. They took him back out. They took him back out. Sipe is back in there. No timeouts left.
But I was saying they had time for another play. They're still going to.
They're gambling a little bit with the clock. Rucker in motion from the 22-yard line. Sipe back to throw it. He's going to have to dump it or the time's going to run out. He's going for 6. And Parrish was back there defending. We've got penalty markers down in the field. Logan was the intended receiver. Dave Logan, number 85. Couldn't be much left now, I'll tell you that. Well, let's see what this one was about.
Illegal shift.
Well, he gave us the call, and the line judge stepped up to get his 2 cents worth in.
Number 82, offense. 3 seconds left.
That's Ozzie Newsome. Well, he still left 3 seconds. He'd have scrambled a little bit longer, and that would have been it, and you could have second-guessed Sam Bertigliano the rest of the afternoon.
Well, with all these multiple formations, you see a lot of that. Illegal shift.
Of course, even so, now Cockcroft's got to kick it back 5 yards further than he would have on the previous play.
Puts the pressure on Cockcroft. We got a 42, 43-yard field goal.
Shift. Number 63, offense.
So the ball is at the 27-yard line. That's the line of scrimmage. Logan will hold. He'll put it down at the 33. So this is a 43-yard field goal attempt. High snap. Kick blocked. Parrish scoops it up. That's a live ball. He's run out of bounds, and certainly the time has run out now, ending the first half. Kind of a wild finish to a rather unusual first half here at Cleveland Stadium.
The guy that blocked it came in from the outside, which usually means timing. The snap was a little bit high.
So Cockcroft has had an extra point attempt blocked, and now he has the field goal attempt blocked.
Well, I don't count that for against Cockcroft. I think the snap was a little high, and by the time the holder got it back, the outside man came in and blocked it.
6-3, Cleveland leading the Washington Redskins at intermission. Both teams head to the locker room. Sam Bertigliano having a word with the officials as they head off. Looking back at this first half, you'd have thought maybe it'd be a little more scoring.
It's been a wild first half.
That's it for the first half of play here at Cleveland Stadium. We'll be back shortly.
How great is JCPenney's MCS 35-watt system stereo sale? Just look at the figures. An amplifier that delivers 35 watts of power, only $200. An extremely sensitive AM/FM tuner, just $160. 2 acoustically balanced 3-way speakers, only $280. The total, an unbelievable $399. That's right, $640 worth of components, only $399 when you buy the 35-watt package at JCPenney. It figures.
From the people who brought you the workmate comes the incredible bench top. You can put it on a table or clamp it to a chair or use it on the roof or almost anywhere. It goes up in the attic or the basement down below. There's almost no place the bench top won't go. Black & Decker's bench top workmate, portable work center and vise. It turns the whole world into a workshop.
Beer tender, I'll have my favorite light beer.
Natural, sure. Want one for your friend?
My friend?
You see, you doesn't have to call it Anheuser-Busch Natural Light, and you doesn't have to call it Anheuser Natural. Just say natural.
He said natural. He knows for a smooth, clean taste and a great light beer, people distinctly ask for natural by name.
Name? My name is Raymond J. Johnson, Jr. Now, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jimmy.
You saw it on CBS Sports. Roller skating isn't a fad, it's a sport. And here's the king, Alex Kane, winning the men's freestyle at the 1979 U.S. Roller Skating Championships. Next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular takes you to West Germany for the World Roller Skating Championships. Top skaters from Europe and the Americas vie for world honors. Then see super heavyweights in action in the world's strongest men competition. Another super Saturday of sports. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports. Mike Labor with George Allen back at Cleveland Stadium, halftime, with the Browns leading the Redskins by a score of 6-3. Now let's join Brent Musburger as he takes a look at some of the obvious candidates in this year's Heisman Trophy race.
It is college football's version of the Oscar, and last year's winner was Billy Sims at Oklahoma.
Really, you know, going into this season, I'm not, I guess, really concerned with winning the Heisman Trophy. The things that happened last year, you know, I like to look at it as a history. It's over with. This season, I'm more concerned with my health and possibility of having a chance to play for the national championship.
Sims says he is completely healthy now for the first time. And as a running back, he is awesome. In his career at Oklahoma, he has averaged almost 7 yards a carry in 398 attempts. Professional scouts love him for one other reason. He has a nose for the end zone, having scored 39 career touchdowns. But the Heisman...
Well, he's talking about Joe Theismann, obviously.
And he's talking about getting a better pass rush.
1st and 10, Browns at their 33-yard line. Logan wide to the left side. Rucker set in the slot inside of him at the bottom of your screen. Now they start Rucker in motion. Brian Sipe back into the pocket, delivers the football. It is caught by Logan at the 45-yard line, his 5th catch of the afternoon.
You know, Logan has been doing a splendid job today. There was a little report in Washington by Peters that Logan wasn't quite tough enough to come over the middle or not as good a blocker as a tight end. But he gets open. He's got a weave type of move.
This guy took Paul Warfield's place, so you can see the shoes that he is filling, Cleveland. He reminds a lot of people here of Gary Collins, only he's faster than Collins. He's one of the great all-time receivers for the Browns. Straight up the middle to Calvin Hill for short yardage. Another thing about Logan, and I don't know if there's another athlete that they can say this about, he was drafted in 3 major sports, football, basketball, and baseball. He was a 3rd-round pick for Cleveland, the Indians, or rather for the Browns. He turned down a baseball offer from the Cincinnati Reds and an NBA contract from the Kansas City Kings.
Well, it shows he's a good athlete. I know he has great hands. Now the Redskins sent their nickel personnel in.
2nd and 9, Browns at their 46-yard line. Score tied at 6 late in the 3rd period. Hill, nice hole up the middle. Calvin Hill to the 40, to the 35-yard line. Hill at the 30, and finally out of bounds near the 20, and we got a flag.
Yeah. You know, we talked about running against the nickel defense. That's what Sipe did. That's the best play, a fast trap. And Calvin showed that he can still play football. Watch his maneuverability.
Well, Hill coming back to haunt the Redskins. He scored the only touchdown.
Hit him out of bounds.
There was a flag thrown right as the tackle was made. It was a 34-yard gain. Now let's see what the penalty is. It's going to be against the Redskins. And we'll move the ball half the distance to the goal, which will take it down to the 10-yard line. And we'll get the official word from the referee, Jerry Seaman. Well, tell us about the penalty.
That was a smart call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 59, defense.
You attack the weakness of every defense. Don't throw into the strength.
Brad Dusek, number 59, guilty of the roughing penalty. And the Browns have a first and goal to go from the 10-yard line. A minute 46 left in the third period. Ryan Sipe giving to Pruitt. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Good job by the right side of the Redskins defense. Mark Murphy was in there, and so was Pete Wysocki.
We talked about Cleveland's ability to run wide. You can see there that the Redskins played that well. They got across, they penetrated and strung it out, and you had no chance to go wide. There's where you need the Greg Pruitt, the extra step to beat the defense around the corner.
Mike Pruitt, of course, is from Purdue. He also was a #1 draft choice, so the Browns came along rather slowly, but has done quite well here in the last year or so. Second and goal from the 9. Pruitt and Hill are the running backs. Sipe waiting over the middle and intended for Logan. Incomplete.
Well, he was covered. Sipe threw the ball high so that there was no chance for an interception. Here it is from the end zone.
Would have been tough to come down with this thing and stay in bounds even had he caught it.
Either way, offense or defense.
It was thrown right at the very back of the end zone. Of course, he's got that great height.
Yeah, real high. Let him try to go up for it. No chance.
Logan is 6'5". It'll be third down. Goal to go with the nose of the ball just inside the 10. Logan was shaken up on the play. There's Logan. Shaken up a little bit, but he's in there. Sipe under pressure from the Redskins. A fierce rush. As the blitz was on, Dusek was in there quickly.
That's a good call. He's had too much time to throw.
Tony Peters also came in there, number 23, blitzing from the defensive backfield. Peters got him.
They gave Peters a chance to get back at him. That's what he said he wanted to do.
Of course, he played here some. Left under not the best of circumstances. Now here's Cockroft. Keep in mind, he's had an extra point blocked. He's had a field goal blocked. It's not been the best afternoon so far. Logan will put it down at the 27. It'll be a 37-yard try to untie this football game with 36 seconds left in the third period. Long enough and good. Don Cockroft, as he has so many times, comes through for the Browns in the clutch, and Cleveland has taken the lead 9-6.
I was a secret money worrier until Connecticut General showed me how to reach financial independence in my lifetime. CG certainly came through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
My successful business became more successful after Connecticut General helped me work out a cash flow strategy. CG sure came through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Call us. We'll come through for you, too. Here comes the Kmart 672, the powerful car battery that's completely maintenance-free. Hook the 672 to this electric winch, and it can pull this 44-ton diesel locomotive. The Kmart 672, packed with power to deliver sure starts. If it can pull this 44-ton locomotive, you better believe it can start your car. Check it out at most Kmart automotive departments across the USA, where quality auto parts are Kmart priced.
28 seconds left to play in the third period. There's your score. The Browns leading the Redskins 9-6. I'm Frank Lieber along with George Allen. You're looking at Don Cockroft getting ready to kick off.
They haven't kicked off too well from this end. The ball's been dropping around the 15-yard line. The Redskins, if that happens, the Redskins have a chance to get a return and set up field position. Let's see where the kickoff goes this time.
Hardiman standing at about the 5. It's been a wild football game so far. Hardiman at the 5. 10-15. Crosses the 20, breaks a tackle, 25. Pretty good run back by Hardiman. Gets it beyond the 30-yard line to about the 32. Pat Moriarty making the stop.
That's what. There's 47, Ricky Jones.
Oh, he got popped pretty good there, didn't he? And again,
good block on him. He's staying with him. Still staying with him.
That's Greg Dubonnet of the Redskins, and finally Jones says enough of this, right?
He didn't like that.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Redskins trying to get back into it once again.
Well, they still have Harmon at fullback.
We have not received any word on Riggins.
As I mentioned, Harmon was our fullback in 1977 and did a fine job, but you like that size that Riggins has.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Browns 9, the Redskins 6. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Monday, a pro scout visits Carver High.
Which one of us do you want?
Your coach. Will Coach Reeves jump at the chance for stardom? See The White Shadow at 8, 7 Central.
This is CBS.
Wednesday, Jerry Reed and Tom Selleck are the Concrete Cowboys.
Okay, let her rip.
2 country drifters who become city detectives
I'm wearing Nashville, Tennessee.
to rescue a missing starlet in the home of country music. Someone's out to get the Concrete Cowboys on the Wednesday night movie at 9, 8 Central.
Frank Lieber with George Allen, Cleveland Stadium, as we head into the final period of play. It'll be 2nd down 7. Redskins with the football at their own 36-yard line, and they're playing catch-up. They trail by a score of 9-6. We were checking the bench during the timeout for John Riggins, because he hasn't been in there in a while. And we did see him take off his jacket and start to loosen up. Theismann puts it right in there for McDaniel at the 50-yard line, and John McDaniel falls forward to the 48. That is a Washington 1st down. Boy, you talk about threading the needle.
Yeah, well, Joe's got a good arm. He rifled that in there, and he had good protection, by the way, on that all the way.
Here comes Riggins back in the game. Philadelphia in the 3rd period leading the Cardinals 17-13. Giants still out in front of San Francisco 29-10, and New Orleans has really come alive in the 3rd period. They were scoreless at the half, and they've scored 3 touchdowns in the 3rd period. 1st and 10, Redskins from the 49-yard line of Cleveland. Hardiman caught at the line of scrimmage just as he tried to turn it upfield. Bolton, number 28, on the stop.
And John Riggins threw a tremendous block. Probably can't see it, but boy, he cut his man down right at the knees. Here it is. Tony Werner showing it again. See that man on the ground? That was a block by John Riggins.
2nd down, little more than 10 needed for the 1st down, actually closer to 11. So let's call it 2nd and 11 with the ball at midfield. Bugs to the left side. Ricky Thompson in the slot inside of him. Theismann. Thompson got his hands on it.
Yeah.
Scott was there defending. Look at it again.
Well, Joe's thrown to the slot slide of the formation. The ball was a little bit overthrown.
Somebody got a piece of that thing right at the line of scrimmage, threw it off line, and Thompson made a good effort.
Yeah, it looked like it was deflected there.
Theismann is now 9 out of 15 for 155 yards. There's the stat on him so far. It is 3rd down, and the Redskins need 11 for the 1st down from midfield. Cleveland defense digging in. Good protection for Theismann. He throws it behind Clarence Harmon, the intended receiver, at the 42-yard line. Unfortunate.
What Cleveland did there, Cleveland faked the dog and then came off and covered. Rushed with 4 and covered with 7. See, Joe has the time. Threw the ball a little bit behind Clarence.
Scott close to an interception, number 22.
Chances are he wouldn't have made the 1st down if he caught the ball.
13.5 minutes left to play in the football game as you look at Dino Hall, number 26, back to receive the punt off the toe of Mike Bragg. Bragg standing on his 35 as he awaits the snap. Perfect. Browns playing return all the way. The kick is a little bit short, takes a Redskin hop inside the 20 and will roll to about the 12-yard line, and Cleveland will put it in play from there.
And you know, Frank, that happens so many times where the kick is short, and if the defense, the receiving team, lets it roll, it turns into their advantage. They pick up an additional 15 yards.
38 yards on the punt. Cleveland leading Washington 9-6.
Weekends were made for Michelob. Weekends were made for special friends. It's the time to have that smooth and mellow beer. It's Michelob. Weekends were made for special times. Weekends were made for Michelob.
Yeah. You're in the auto supply business? I'm in the auto supply business. You're in construction? I'm in construction. Chemicals? Me too. See, I'm really your branch office. Wherever your business travels take you, I'm already there. So you can confirm appointments, handle orders, check on shipping, keep everybody happy. Oh, excuse me. So remember, wherever you need a branch office, I'm your branch office. Use me.
There's the Monday night lineup on CBS, and I think you fans of MASH will be particularly interested in that episode because it's the one in which Radar says goodbye forever. So there'll be a lot of sentimentality there. WKRP, Lou Grant, and the White Shadow combining on the CBS Monday night lineup. Browns leading 9-6. They have the football, 1st and 10 from their 12-yard line. Pruitt and Hill are the running backs behind Brian Sipe. Pruitt, nice hole up the middle to the 30-yard line, or close to it, or he's nailed from behind by Murphy. They drop him at the 28. That's a 1st down and 16 yards.
Look at that hole. You could drive a truck through there. Well, Calvin Hill went in motion strong side. Looked like the Redskin defense went with the flow of the play, opened up that hole along with some good blocking.
1st down, Cleveland Browns at their 28. Sipe, 8 out of 15. 138 yards on the afternoon. Figures pretty much close to what Joe Theismann has. And he's back to throw on 1st down. Under pressure, gets the pass away. Good defense over there on the far side. The intended receiver was Pruitt, and all over him was Neil Olkewicz, number 52. The Redskin linebacker.
He's lucky that wasn't picked off because Neil had him covered like a blanket.
He's a rookie out of Maryland, Olkewicz.
You know,
fine choice for the Browns.
It's strange for me to see Dyron Talbot, number 72, going out because he was always one of our better pass rushers and ran stunts well and quarterbacked the entire defensive line of McDowell and Brundage and Berlin Biggs.
Of course, there's only, what now, 3 Redskins left off that Super Bowl team, the 72. Talbot, one of them. Hermeling and Mike Bragg, the other 2. Pruitt getting the call again. Short yardage this time. Stop short of the 30-yard line. Here's Sam Rutigliano, the Cleveland coach.
I tell you, one guy that's left is number 75, Terry Hermeling, who's overcome, Frank, 2 serious knee operations and has done a great job, having a fine year.
Key member of the Redskins offensive line for a long time. And, of course, what can you say about Bragg? As long as he's been around, he's still one of the best.
Yes, he is. He's a consistent punter, does his job, kicks the ball out of bounds when he has to.
3rd down. Browns need 9 for the 1st down. All day for Brian Sipe, and then finally it wasn't there anymore as the penetration was made by Perry Brooks, number 69, the designated pass rusher of the Redskins, and watch him cave in on Sipe.
That's the reason Bobby Mitchell was our personnel scout, pro scout, and he recommended, let's get this Perry Brooks. He was cut by New England, and the reason he's there is that we felt he could rush the passer. Bobby recommended him. We signed him. He got hurt. He's on our cab squad. That's the one problem he's had. He's been hurt so much that he can't play a regular year.
Evans standing back in his 5 on 4th down. Redskins playing return all the way. Nice kick by Evans. Hardiman all the way back to his 34. Up to the 40, 45, and really popped at the 47-yard line. 47 yards on the punt, and the hit made by Ricky Jones, number 47, off the Browns special unit, who has been very active so far on this sunny, chilly afternoon. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the football game, and the Browns still lead it by 3.
Looking for a little excitement?
For the 1980s, Lincoln Mercury unleashes a striking new cat. New Cougar XR7, Lincoln Mercury's newest symbol of driving excitement. Lean and trim, with 64% better estimated MPG than 1975, and a new automatic overdrive transmission is available. So very luxurious, with plush new fabrics. So innovative, with new electronic cat options. With a finely tuned suspension for cat-like handling. For the 1980s, Lincoln Mercury unleashes the striking new Cougar XR7. This is your year for the cat.
Next Sunday, CBS Sports kicks off its NFL coverage with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Be sure and stay tuned after the conclusion of this game. Most of you will see one of our CBS doubleheader games today, either Atlanta against Oakland out on the West Coast, or Detroit and the Packers in Milwaukee. 1st and 10. Redskins at their 46-yard line. Excellent field position for Washington following that punt. Let's see if the Redskins can take advantage. He's going for all of it to Buggs, and Buggs just couldn't reach it at the 10-yard line. Good throw.
Well, Frank, we were talking here before the intermission timeout, and we said it would be good for Theismann to throw and throw deep in here, and that's exactly what he did. Buggs was open. Ball was just a little overthrown.
Theismann trying to keep those fingers warm.
Well, they have great field position.
I'll tell you, Saints can score on you. No question about that. They're now 28-7 over Tampa Bay. And the bloom is off Tampa Bay, I would say, after the last couple of weeks. 2nd down 10. Hardiman takes it to midfield and a step beyond. 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd down 6. So the Redskins in a passing situation again, and here comes Harmon.
Well, here comes 38. Harmon.
So they're looking to throw. This is the Redskins' 4th consecutive road game. Their 5th road game of the year. Crowd reacting again to the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati score. They're keeping close tabs on that game, because if Pittsburgh loses and the Browns win, they're tied for 1st place. Here's Hardiman.
Boy, that's...
See if we had a marker down on that play.
Well, they went on sound, and usually when you go in a quick count, there's somebody moving. Somebody in a... That's what it is. It's against the Redskins.
Illegal motion. Jerry Seaman looking very solemn about it, the referee. And that was a passing situation for the Redskins. Might surprise you that they ran the football.
Illegal motion. Number 88. Offense. Decline.
On Buggs, Browns decline it, which will set up a 4th down. And the Redskins still need 3 for the 1st down. Ball is at the 46-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Bragg comes in to do the punting. 10.5 minutes left in the game. 9-6 Cleveland. That's where we stand. Dino Hall standing on the 10-yard line. Hall lets it bounce at the 5, and it rolls on into the end zone for the touchback.
And you know, Dino Hall did something. He also blocked the man downfield, so he couldn't down the ball. He blocked Coleman, 51.
10:20 left to play in the contest. Still anybody's ball game, and we'll be back in a moment.
If anybody appreciates the end of the day, it's a Big A Auto Parts store. Because during the day, no other store works harder to give you quality parts and friendly service. Why, only this morning.
Okay, you need a muffler and a tailpipe brakes for a 67 Plymouth? We'll have it here by 11 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I can show you how that goes on.
You need 6 gas cans? Yes, we can grind drums. Is it a V8 or a 6?
Quality parts, friendly service. That's Big A, the hard-working auto parts store.
Okay, guys, no kidding. What'd you think of my catch? Hey, first things first. 3 Michelob Lights? Michelob Light? Sure, me too. I'll have a Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
This Michelob Light's sensational. Now tell me, should I have my fish mounted?
No, put it on a bun. Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Rare meeting between the Browns and the Redskins. These two teams have really only met twice in regular season in the 1970s. Washington won it in '75. The Browns won it back in '71. They did meet in preseason this year, and Cleveland won that game rather handily at RFK Stadium. Jack Pardee. I get the impression it could be 10 below and he'd still be chewing ice. Everybody has their own way to keep from being nervous. Some people lick their thumbs, right?
Yep, occasionally.
Mike Pruitt and Calvin Hill in the backfield. 1st and 10 for the Browns at their 20-yard line. Pruitt out to the 25.
Frank, they did exactly what we said. What was going to be the first play of this series? They ran the same play where Calvin Hill goes in motion strong side. They give the ball to Pruitt straight ahead.
It's been fairly effective. Of course, they pass very well, but you don't want to take a chance of a turnover. You don't have to. Eagles in front of the Cardinals in the 3rd period. Philadelphia will be at RFK Stadium next Sunday afternoon. And George will be there. Pruitt trying to cut back in and pick up the first down. He's a couple of yards short. Paul Smith, number 78, on the stop that time for the Redskins.
Well, again, they're trying to go wide.
This is the rookie middle linebacker, Neil Olkowitz, 52. He's in there.
Redskins got pretty good penetration. Good pursuit.
Olkowitz has played a good portion of the afternoon instead of Hover at the middle linebacker slot. Malott went out early with a wrist injury, and so Wysocki's been filling that bill. It's 3rd down, and the Browns need a long 2 for the first down. They're at their 27-yard line.
Yeah, there's movement. There's movement.
Redskins are pointing at the Browns. Paul Smith pointing to the opposite side. Take a look at it from this angle.
Well, Butts started to go off and came back, and then the right tackle moved. Offensive right tackle.
Looked like Henry Shepard.
No infraction on the play.
Well, of course, we have the benefit of instant replay, and the officials don't, but it looked like Henry Shepard, number 65, the offensive right tackle, did raise up, and that's all he has to do.
3rd and 3 is usually a passing situation. We always jet charge in this situation and played pass over run.
Logan to the left side, Rucker to the right. 8:55 left in the game. Side throwing over the middle, short toss, first down. At the 33-yard line, Calvin Hill. Hill is coming back playing against his former mates.
He is. This is what we call a whisk pattern. The weak halfback comes out there and hooks between the corner and the linebacker just enough to get the first down. Sipe threw it right in.
He scored. Hill has the Browns' only touchdown from 1 yard out. He set up a field goal with a long run. And now he comes up with a critical catch there for a first down. Browns working on that clock a little bit now, which is moving at 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Pruitt drives into the left side of the 38.
Speaking of Hill, I'd like to say this, that the LA Rams wish they kept him. They gave him a tryout last year and had him in for a couple of days and let him go and signed another back. And it's to Cleveland's credit, to Art Modell and his organization's credit, that they saw something in Calvin Hill that we knew he had, and he's helped this entire ball club, not just as a player, but as a solid guy, leadership.
Now, shall I ask how he ever left Washington in the first place? We'll leave that unsaid. 2nd down 6. Pruitt driving forward and very close for the first down at the 43-yard line. Good individual effort there.
Yes. Well, their offensive line came off of the ball pretty good there. They put the Redskins' defensive line back.
Official time for measurement.
The first rule of running that football is have that offensive line come off of the ball and keep your feet driving. And that's what the Cleveland line did there.
Browns a good mixture of youth and experience. 9 rookies on their ball club, including 8 draft picks and a free agent, plus Jack Gregory and Lyle Alzado that he faces. Browns picked up the first. Well, they keep their drive going at the 43-yard line. This drive had started at the 20. They're protecting a 3-point lead with 7 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. Pruitt now with 17 carries. He has 63 yards rushing, the leading rusher on the afternoon. Sipe is 9 out of 17 for 144 yards.
The Redskins brought in Paul Smith and took out Perry Brooks.
Pruitt and Calvin Hill. The setbacks in the I formation. Hill gets the call. Drives forward for maybe a yard. Sam Rutigliano, just the 6th head coach in the 33-year history of the Cleveland Browns.
You know, a guy we haven't talked about very much is number 20 of the Redskins, Joe Lavender. I think he's a fine football player. He's got a good feel for the ball game, good hands, makes a lot of big plays. He's got long arms. He's got the arms of a basketball player. And he's really been an addition to this team after Mike Bass retired.
He was one of the first guys to wear those goggles, too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
2nd and 9. Miller has come into the backfield, replacing Pruitt. Ryan Sipe, good protection over the middle. And again, it is Calvin Hill in heavy traffic at the 48-yard line.
Yeah.
That's very close to another first down.
You know what Calvin did? Calvin kind of came back for this ball. Calvin was well covered. Sipe took a chance on throwing that in there. See how he comes back for it, stayed with it, put it away.
Close enough again for measurement. And they'll bring in the change from the near side. You know, talking about things going on in the division, you mentioned Dallas a few moments ago. What do you think of that Dutton deal?
Well, I think that's the type of deal I've always liked made.
I know.
Get an established football player for a couple of draft choices. They need Dutton. Dutton can play the run, he can rush the passer, and he's only 28 years old. Again, they have to make a decision there. Well, they already made it. They're going to put him over on the left side. I thought he was always better on the right side. So he'll be like Alzado. He has to make a transition, but it's a good trade for Dallas.
You saw the time left, 6 minutes.
And it's a good
first down.
And Frank, it's a good trade for Baltimore also. They had a disgruntled player and they got 2 good picks.
Kind of unlike Dallas, though, to deal those number 1 draft picks.
Yes, it is.
Browns working on the clock. Pruitt back in the lineup, dives forward to the 43-yard line. And that clock certainly now becomes a factor. Cleveland leading 9-6. 5 minutes and 20 seconds and counting. Sipe leading the number 1 pass offense in the NFL and doing it on the ground here in this particular drive for the most part.
You know, surprisingly, we haven't seen many screens or many draws today, and we've got a passing ball club both ways. Both clubs have good pass offenses.
Cleo Miller, you saw duck into the huddle with the play from Sam Rutigliano, and Pruitt comes out. It is 2nd down 7. Big rush. He got the pass away to Miller, but not much there. Good defense again by Neil Okowicz, number 52, the middle linebacker.
Well, the Redskins dogged on that, and that's the middle linebacker's coverage. He has the first back strong side, and he gets over there and makes the play.
Okowicz has impressed me so far this afternoon. He's around the ball.
Hover must be injured. He's normally in there.
We haven't heard any word. You see Sipe, he indicated to the to the bench. He doesn't want the play. They're going to send Pruitt in with the play.
This is a real big down for both sides now.
Tokoroff getting loosened up just in case. They're a little bit out of his range right now. 3rd down, 5. Browns at the 41 of Washington. 4 minutes left to play in the game. Big rush. He gets it away. Calvin Hill for the first down and out of bounds at the 33.
What a Sipe read the dog. Calvin ran a perfect pattern, and he hits him right in stride. Look at that, right in stride.
Murphy running him down, number 29, but not before he picks up the first.
That's Murphy's coverage. He has the first back, weak side. When you got a guy like Calvin Hill, you got to play him a little bit tighter than that.
Again, the crowd reaction to the Pittsburgh score. 63,323 in attendance today. Brown victory and a Steeler loss could move Cleveland back into a tie for first place. First down. Cleveland at the Redskin 33. Pruitt inside the 30 to the 29 to the 28. Close to 5 yards on that play.
That's the same play we talked about. Hill taking off early, going in motion, strong side, or leading the count, and straight ahead blocking. And the offensive line of Cleveland's moving the Redskins back now. Straight ahead blocking.
This has been some ball control drive so far. Look at this crowd, and this is the reason they're yelling, because Cincinnati is stomping Pittsburgh. Cincinnati winless on the year, and the world champion Steelers trailing 34-3. What an unbelievable score that is. 2nd and 5. Pruitt. First down at the 21.
There's a smart play. The fullback started weak, and watch the middle linebacker take himself out. You see that? That's what inexperience does. He should be keying the fullback and staying at home and not running himself out of there. That's something that Harold McClinton always did very well. Stayed at home and didn't overrun the play, but that's what you get with inexperience. Smart play by Cleveland.
Clock continues to roll on. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the game. First down. This drive started at the 20-yard line. It is eaten up. Better than 5 minutes on the clock. Redskins can't score unless they get their hands on the football. Again, Pruitt, the workhorse, down to the 16-yard line.
Well, again, they're coming off of the ball, M blocking, straight ahead, man for man. There's nothing, no finesse with this. It's just take them on, do your job.
Pruitt, 83 yards now and 21 carries. Leading rusher in the game. The ball is down to the 16-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and a long 5 needed for the first down, and the Redskins are going to call time here with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the game. And we'll be back at Cleveland Stadium right after this.
And now, a highlight of the incredible Ford factory tour. Incredible developments in our search for good performance, better mileage, and low emissions. We're working on a ceramic gas turbine engine that'll get at least 30% better mileage than a conventional engine of the same size.
Buddy, I'd call that incredible. I would.
We're experimenting with battery power. For instance, this hybrid vehicle. Over 20 miles per hour, it runs on gas. Under 20, runs on electric.
Oh, that's even more incredible.
Is there such a word as incredible-er?
Ford is even working on an engine that gets mileage like a diesel, but runs a lot cleaner.
Is there anything more incredible than incredible?
Yes, our little 4-cylinder Mustang. It accelerates like some cars with 8-cylinder engines because it's turbocharged.
Friends, I guess there's only one way left to express our basic emotions.
Ford, that's incredible.
To take the incredible Ford factory tour, write us for information.
Thanks to Corporal O'Reilly, we're going to make it through this night.
Can MASH operate without radar?
You better pull yourself together, or this place is going to be one heck of a mess.
Find out Monday.
There's a score. New Orleans 35, Tampa Bay 7. What has happened to the #1 defense in the NFL? Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking it on the chin. Our score, the Browns 9, the Redskins 6. And right now, the Browns in good shape, 2nd and 5 at the Redskins 16.
To answer that question, sometimes you win a few, but it doesn't mean you're going to continue to win. Teams that win year after year and are consistent, that's the test.
Browns have done a beautiful job in this drive utilizing the clock. Pruitt, the workhorse. Caught at the 15, down to the 14-yard line. A pickup of 2. It'll be 3rd down and looks like 3 needed for the 1st down, and that will necessitate now another timeout being called by the Redskins. That leaves them just 1 now.
Using all their timeouts, that puts a lot of pressure on Theismann and the offense.
Now you're wondering when this drive started. You may be wondering. It started back at the 20-yard line, and it started with 10 minutes and 20 seconds showing on the clock in the last period. We've now got 2:04 left, so Cleveland has held the ball for 8 minutes.
And what they've done, they've grounded out, except for a couple of passes to Calvin Hill, a wisp pass, about a 4 or 5 yard hook, and a shoot pattern. It's been all on the ground. Basic football.
8 minutes and 16 seconds. The Browns have hung on to the football. They have a 3rd down and a long 3 coming up for the 1st down, with the nose of the ball just inside the Redskin 15-yard line. Now, field goal really doesn't help them that much.
No, it doesn't.
The Redskins
but,
out
you
of
know,
field goal
the strategy here, I would think, would be maybe to run the ball both downs. Depends on what they make on this down, but run the ball both downs, try to get the 1st down and get the touchdown.
That says it all. Brian Sipe under center. Pruitt, Calvin Hill, the setbacks. Sipe looking for Hill. He's got him, but he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Wanted out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
He took a chance. Good play action. Boy, Hill's caught every pass in this drive. 3 for 3.
Now a decision for the Browns as to what to do with 4th and 3 coming up from the 15-yard line.
When you throw the ball, you stop the clock.
2-minute warning.
There it is. See, the pass took him out of bounds.
A Super Bowl Steeler is tough to beat. But against this Steeler, I can't compete.
When a Steeler gets hit, it's got the guts to bounce back.
You turkey.
Uniroyal presents the Steeler Radial. It's built tough with 2 steel belts, and it's tough to beat when you look at its price.
To get to this year's Super Bowl, I'll just surround myself with 4 tough Steelers.
The Uniroyal Steeler. You want a tough tire at a price that's fair? You want Uniroyal there.
It's been ages.
Can I buy you?
Allow me. 2 Michelob Lights.
Michelob makes a light beer? Perfect.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
You always did go first class.
Your ticket to San Francisco. Thank you.
San Francisco?
You too?
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
Frank Lieber with George Allen in Cleveland. 4th down for the Browns and 3. What do you think, Coach?
Frank, I think here they're trying to prevent a tie by getting this field goal. The Redskins have to go the distance and get a touchdown. It'll be interesting to see the snap and the hold because Cleveland hasn't had much success today. The Redskins are out of timeouts, or they may have 1 timeout left.
Cockcroft has kicked 1 field goal, but he's had an extra point blocked, and he's had another field goal attempt blocked. Logan will hold. He'll put it down at the 22-yard line. This will make it a 32-yard field goal attempt. 1 minute 59 left in the game. It would put the Browns up by 6. No good. So the Redskins will get 1 last shot at it. And the normally reliable Don Cockcroft fails in this situation. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, Waco, Texas. Who introduced the radial tire?
He did.
Hey, Gloucester, Massachusetts. Who makes only radial tires?
He does.
He's the Michelin Man. And at Michelin, we put you first. That's why we won't make a second-best tire. Because the only thing more important than our tires are the people who ride on them. Hey, Laguna Beach, California. Who's the fastest growing...
Theismann back to throw, hits Buggs at the 35-yard line. Danny Buggs at the 40. Buggs to the near side of the 45, gets a block from Hardiman and runs out of bounds in Browns territory at the 47-yard line.
Well, here's the missed field goal. Good snap, good goal.
High enough?
He just sliced
long enough, not straight enough.
Yeah, sliced it to the right. Theismann went to his favorite receiver, Danny Buggs, and Buggs runs well with the ball after the catch. Now with a field goal kicker like Mark Mosley.
Now that's a big, big miss for Cockcroft because it puts the Redskins at least in possession of, with a field goal, sending this into overtime. 1st and 10 from the Redskin 47. They're playing like they want to end it in regulation time. Warren, the tight end, making the reception. Keep in mind that the Redskins have just one timeout left. So they'll line up quickly at the 40-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. A minute 26 left to play in the game. Theismann over the middle to Harmon at the 30-yard line. They're already now within Mosley's range, I'd say, down at the 28. It's another first down. First down at the 28-yard line. The clock is moving with a minute and 10 seconds left to play. Redskins have one timeout left should they needed to stop it for the field goal attempt, and Theismann stops it right there with that throw over the head of Ricky Thompson.
Well, what happens in this situation? The defense loosens up. You give them the short stuff to prevent a touchdown, and Theismann's doing the right thing. He's hitting the intermediate passes and moving the ball down the field for either a touchdown or a field goal.
It's amazing, though. You play that tough defense the whole ball game, and all of a sudden, inside of 2 minutes, a team just picks up 10, 15 yards at a whack. Makes it look so easy.
Yeah, sometimes you play it too loose.
A minute and 3 seconds left to play. Redskins with one timeout left. They have a 2nd and 10 upcoming at the 28-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Redskins trying to pull this one out. Hardiman to the 25. Again, just one timeout left for the Redskins. Jack Pardee glancing nervously at the clock. Jerry Shirk made the stop. Redskins go without a huddle from the 26. Here's Theismann. Over the middle. Inside the 15-yard line. Warren makes the catch at the 14, and they're going to call time. With 38 seconds to go, Ricky Jones on the stop, and we'll be back with the finish in just a moment.
It's no secret that quality mechanics rely on quality parts. So when you see this sign in garages and service stations, you know the mechanics who work there care. Care enough about you to rely on Napa parts. Lots of Napa parts are better than your car's original parts. So for parts and service you can depend on, look for this Napa sign and the Napa mechanic. He cares.
Napa. We help keep America moving.
Sometimes all those monthly bills get to be almost too much to manage. That's where Beneficial comes in. The all-in-one loan from Beneficial is cash to clean up all or most of those bills. And chances are, extra cash left over. Just one convenient payment a month, often smaller than those current monthly payments put together. The all-in-one loan at Beneficial, where you're good for more.
At Beneficial, you're good for more.
Mark Mosley, who could be called upon in a moment to kick a field goal that would send this game into sudden death overtime if the Redskins don't push it across in the 38 seconds that are left. Now, keep in mind, the Redskins do not have a timeout left. They have a first down at the Browns' 14. Theismann. Incomplete. Intended again for the tight end Warren, who pulled it down but could not come back in bounds.
Well, that play took 5 seconds. That's a good call. Rolling out, get away from the rush. In the case they dog, you get away from all those blitzers.
Now, he's got to be careful not to get trapped here, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Because the Redskins don't have a timeout left. They're going to have to rush that field goal unit on if it gets down to that. 2nd and 10 now. This drive started back at the 20-yard line. Ricky Thompson wide to the right side. Danny Buggs is split to the left. Theismann under pressure over the middle. He's got Harmon for the touchdown. Clarence Harmon, 15 yards out for the touchdown with 27 seconds to go.
Great play by Theismann, and a fine catch by Harmon. He kept going, got open. Watch this. Good protection. Joe's looking for Bugs. Then he comes back to Clarence Harmon. There's Harmon. Nice over the shoulder catch.
Got behind the linebacker Hall. As you look at it from yet another angle, Hall, number 59, trying to stay with him.
Well, he can't stay with him that long.
Extra point try by Mosley, and this Cleveland crowd of 63,000 is stunned. The Browns held the football for better than 8 minutes, then missed the field goal attempt, and the Redskins came storming back 80 yards for the go-ahead touchdown with only 27 seconds to go. Washington leading 13-9, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Ella Fitzgerald is listening to Chuck Mangione while we're recording him on Memorex with MRX3 Oxide. Now Ella's going to listen again, but can she tell if it's Chuck live or the Memorex recording we just made?
Beats me! It's Memorex!
Reproduction so true, we can ask, is it live or is it Memorex?
These people all work at Ramada Inn Central, Kansas City. But right now, instead of taking reservations, cleaning rooms, or carrying luggage, they're talking about new ways of taking better care of the guests. I'm Tom Schuler. I run the Ramada Inn, but it's eager people like these who really make our hotel work.
Nice people taking care of nice people. Ramada, all over the world.
Well, you talk about a change of fortunes. Here are the Browns ready to wrap this one up with that long ball control drive and ready to move into a tie for first place with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are getting beaten today. And all of a sudden, Cockcroft misses the field goal, and the Browns go 80 yards on that drive, and they leave 27 seconds on the clock. He did that in about a minute and a half on the clock, no less than that.
They played a little loose on defense. Mosley has to kick a squibbed ball here, squib kick, so they can't return it.
Browns do have timeouts left. He didn't squib it. Dino Hall at the 6-yard line. They need a big return, and they don't get it, as the Redskins special unit covers it very nicely at the 21-yard line. And Sam Rutigliano got to be feeling a little bit low. Our producer today, the venerable Perry Smith, and our director, who we've heard from constantly, Mr. Tony Verna,
who has done a great job today.
And some of our good technical people, a lot of our normal CBS golf crew on hand today. Jack Pardee. Well, you talk about a big win for the Redskins going into that game with Philadelphia next week after losing last week. And this, of course, the Browns don't pull it out, would be their 3rd loss in a row. Ryan Sipe over the middle for Rucker. Incomplete at the 50-yard line.
Rucker was open if he threw the ball accurately. All the Redskins have to do here is play deep. Don't let them get behind you. Keep them in front of you. They need a touchdown. A field goal isn't going to do them any good.
Sipe, the number 4 passer in the league. 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions coming in. So you don't much like the way they rate those passes,
I think one of the characteristics on rating quarterback, one of the factors ought to be won and lost record.
They don't weigh that in their stats. Again, Rucker, the intended receiver. Incomplete at the 50-yard line. He was covered by Murphy, number 29 of the Redskins down there, along with Ray Waddy, number 47. Sandwiched in between at the 50. It'll be 3rd down 10. And the clock, as you can see, is now run down to 12 seconds. New Orleans with what's got to be the biggest half of the year by any team. It was 42 points by the Saints, have all come in the second half. And they lead Tampa 42-14. It's hard to believe that game was scoreless at halftime. Our score 13-9, Washington. Sipe trying to pull off a miracle. This one for Logan, downfield, tipped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And Logan was double covered.
Time for one more play.
Well, was the old Roger Staubach Hail Mary pass.
Yeah, what they probably could do here is send 3 receivers, a 3 right or 3 left, and send them all down in one area, hope for a tip ball or a penalty.
I saw a game with Atlanta, which that worked last year.
Yeah,
against New Orleans, won a ball game for them.
It's a chance.
So all you can hope for here is, as the coach said, a tip ball or a penalty. Don Cockcroft, not one of his better days. He did hit 1 field goal, had an extra point blocked, had a field goal attempt blocked, and missed a critical field goal with a minute 59 left to play. Fourth down. Hill. That's the ball game. They fed it to Calvin Hill, and Calvin obviously could do nothing. Here we got a little altercation going on. Cleo Miller got into it with Ron Saul of the Redskins, but it's broken up quickly, and the teams head to the locker room. A major disappointment for the Cleveland Browns and a great come-from-behind victory for the Washington Redskins, who looked like they were beaten but came back strong. The NFL on CBS will be back after this word from your local station.
And now, from the Wish I Were in His Shoes department, Corporal Radar, I'd see the old homestead from here, O'Reilly.
MASH bids Radar a fond farewell Monday.
This is CBS. Back in Cleveland once again, where the Redskins won it by a score of 13-9, and about as exciting a finish, I guess, as you could hope for. Let's take a look at some other scores. This game is still in progress, and the Eagles tied for first place in the NFC East with Dallas leading the Cardinals 24-20. Both Hart and Jaworski injured in that game. Other scores in the fourth period, the Giants still clinging in that lead. They had 29 at the half. 29-16 is where it stands right now in the fourth period as you look at Joe Theismann and Clarence Harmon, who combined for the winning touchdown pass for the Redskins. This is a final. The Dolphins over Buffalo once again, 17-7. The final in that game. And the big shocker of the day in the fourth period, Cincinnati, winless on the year, leading the defending world champion Pittsburgh Steelers by a score of 34-3. Joe Theismann is down on the field, and Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's Frank Lieber, and I got a friend of yours who wants to say hello next to me.
Hi, George.
Hey, Joe, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great 2-minute drive there.
Yeah, we've been practicing for a lot of years.
Yeah. Listen, on that last touchdown pass, were you looking for Danny Buggs first?
No, I was looking for Buddy Hardeman, our halfback, first, and the linebacker broke real hard at him. Then I went back over to check Donnie Warren, the tight end, who was stopped out wide, and I just happened to catch Clarence just before I got hit on the other side of the linebacker.
That's great, and Clarence made a nice catch. You got away from the rush, Joe, and found him open.
Well, I'll tell you, they just blocked real well up front, Coach, and it's the type of a situation where we just really, pulled one out of our tats, I think, that time.
Well, this
Clarence made a super play.
Joe, this is the type you have to win. Will you give the headset to Clarence for a minute, Joe?
Okay, here's a hero.
Congratulations,
Joe. Let's talk to Clarence Harmon, who caught the winning touchdown pass. Good job there, Joe. Clarence, can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Clarence, for a free agent, you're doing a pretty good job.
Thanks, Coach.
Nice catch there. What are you weighing this year?
I'm weighing about 210.
Oh, you're bigger.
Yeah.
You put some weight on.
Yeah.
When you played fullback in '77, you're about 185, right?
That's right.
Clarence, you guys think you'd ever get the football back after the Browns had that long drive?
Right. We felt we would get it back. We know our defense was stopping eventually. We thought maybe they'll get a field goal, but we were prepared to go down and score a touchdown. We had to.
What was your assignment on the last play, Clarence?
Well, both backs had an option on the middle linebacker then, and Joe looked at Buddy first, but I was open at first, but I just circled back around when I thought he was in trouble, and I just hoping he would throw me the ball.
That's smart football on your part, and you made a heck of a catch.
Okay, thank you.
Keep it up.
That was a tough catch, no question about that. What's your reaction to the Cincinnati beating Pittsburgh today, 34-10?
Well,
that's now a final.
It's a final, but I don't have anything to worry about. I'm just celebrating my victory right now.
No question about that. Congratulations to both of you gentlemen.
You know, Clarence, we got a report that both Hart and Jaworski went out of today's game. Both were injured. So you guys play the Eagles next week.
Well, that'd be a big plus for us if Jaworski not able to play, and we plan to get after the Eagle pretty good.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job, Clarence, and I'm really proud of you. And give that headset to Joe again, will you?
Okay, thanks, Coach.
We only got one headset here among the network to share among these two guys.
Hello.
Joe, next week you play Philly.
That's right. We've got an evening up score to do. Historically, we've never... Well, I don't know about Jaworski. I think Clarence mentioned he might have been injured. No matter, it doesn't really affect us on offense that much. We still have to go against a pretty darn good defense, but we've traditionally not played very well in Philadelphia and played them very well at home. And it's the beginning of a long homestand for us. We won 3 out of 4 on the road, and I think this football team's really starting to come together.
Well, good luck, Joe, all the way.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Thank you.
Obviously, a victory like this has to pump up the Washington Redskins as they stay close to first place in the NFC Eastern Division and now return home next Sunday afternoon to face the Philadelphia Eagles. The final score once again from Cleveland Stadium as the Redskins come from behind and beat the Cleveland Browns by a final score of 13-9. Now, a reminder to stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.